the house they sold while I was dying. A true story. Chapter 1, The Trailer on Pine Street, 1992. The first house I ever lived in didn't have my name on anything. It was a single wide trailer on Pine Street in Gastonia, North Carolina, lot rent $285 a month, and the only thing that was ever truly mine was the top bunk above my sister Emily. Emily got the bottom because she was delicate. I got the top because I was tough. That was the family rule from the time I could climb the little ladder at age 4. Our mom, Tammy, worked a 6 to 2 shift at the textile mill before it closed. Then Walmart after that. Dad, Ronnie, fixed transmissions at Junior's garage and smelled like gasoline and Bud Light every night at 5:15 sharp. Emily was born pretty. Blonde curls, dimples, the kind of kid strangers wanted to pick up in the grocery store. I was born quiet, with stick-straight brown hair and eyes that were too big for my face. People called me Mouse until I was 12. Emily got new clothes. I got hand-me-downs from the church bin. Emily got dance lessons. I got told, "Books are free at the library, Lauren. Go read." I didn't mind. Books didn't scream at you when they were disappointed. Chapter 2, The First Time I Understood Money, 1997. I was 9 the day the electricity got cut off for the 3rd time that year. Mom sat at the kitchen table crying into a bowl of off-brand cereal. Dad was at work, which meant the bar. Emily was at a sleepover. I found the shut-off notice on the counter. $87.42. I had 203 in a Folgers coffee can under my bunk for mowing Mrs. Henderson's lawn all summer. I rode my bike to the Duke Energy office with the cash in a Ziploc bag and paid the bill myself. The lady behind the glass looked at me like I was a ghost child. When I got home, Mom hugged me so hard my ribs hurt and whispered, "You're my little saver, Lauren. Don't ever change." She never paid me back the $187.42. I didn't ask. That was the day I decided money was safety. Money was light switches that worked. Money was never having to hear your mother cry over a bowl of soggy cereal again. Chapter 3, High School, 2006-2010. Emily was homecoming queen junior and senior year. I was valedictorian. Nobody noticed because I wore the same black hoodie every day. Emily's boyfriend Mike played varsity football and drove a lifted Silverado his daddy bought him. I drove a 1991 Civic with 240,000 miles that I bought myself for $800 from a church friend. Emily got pregnant at 19, 3 weeks after graduation. My parents threw her a shotgun wedding with 200 guests and an open bar they couldn't afford. I got a full-ride academic scholarship to UNC Charlotte and moved into the dorm the day after the reception. They didn't come to move-in day. Emily was on bed rest. Chapter 4, Grandma Ruth, 2014. Grandma Ruth was the only adult who ever looked at me like I was the main character. She cleaned houses for rich people in Myers Park for 45 years and saved every extra dime in a savings account at First Citizens. When the cancer came, she refused chemo. "I'm tired, baby," she told me on the phone, "but I'm leaving you something so nobody can ever tell you you're nothing again." She died 3 days after my 22nd birthday. The will reading was in a stuffy lawyer's office downtown. My mom, dad, and Emily sat across the table looking hopeful. The lawyer read, "To my granddaughter, Lauren Elizabeth Carter, I leave the entirety of my estate, currently $78,613.62, because she is the only one who ever sat still long enough to listen when I talked about compound interest." Emily screamed, actually screamed. "That's not fair. She doesn't even have kids." Mom cried that Grandma must have been senile. Dad just stared at the table. I signed the papers with shaking hands. The money hit my account 2 weeks later. I cried in the bank parking lot for 20 minutes. Chapter 5, The Little Ranch on Maple Lane, 2015. I found the house on Zillow at 2 a.m., 1,180 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, built 1957, original hardwood floors, huge oak tree in the front yard. List price $139,900. I put $60,000 down and took a 15-year mortgage for the rest. My payment was $522 a month. I could pay it off early. I planned to. Closing day, the realtor handed me the keys and said, "Congratulations, you're the youngest homeowner I've ever had." Emily came to see it once. She walked through the empty living room in her Lululemon leggings and said, "It's cute for a starter home. When are you going to get a real house?" I smiled and said nothing. I was too busy noticing how quiet it was. No yelling, no beer cans, just birds outside the window. Chapter 6, 6 years of paying extra, 2015. Every month I paid triple the minimum, some months quadruple. I ate rice and beans. I shopped at Aldi. I never bought Starbucks. I took the bus when my Civic needed tires. In March 2021, I made the final payment, $11,208.47, to bring the balance to zero. The bank sent me the title with a little sticky note. Paid in full. Congratulations. I framed it, hung it above my desk like a college diploma. I was 30, no debt, $220,000 in the Vanguard account. A house that was 100% mine. I allowed myself one splurge. I booked 2 weeks in Iceland for October to see the Northern Lights. Solo trip. First vacation ever. Chapter 7, June 12th, 2021, 6:47 p.m. I was driving home from a celebratory dinner with coworkers. We just closed a huge audit. My boss said, "Lauren, you're getting senior accountant next quarter." I was smiling at a red light, singing off key to Taylor Swift, when the world exploded. The drunk kid never even hit the brakes. Chapter 8, Trauma Bay, Carolina's Medical Center. I don't remember the impact. I remember waking up, sort of, while they were cutting my clothes off. Someone screaming, "She's coding!" Paddles on my chest. The smell of burning hair. Then nothing. They put me in a barbiturate coma at 7:26 p.m. Official prognosis written in the chart at 11:04 p.m. Severe traumatic brain injury, spinal fractures, C5, C7, bilateral pulmonary contusions, 40% chance of survival to discharge. My family was notified at 7:31 p.m. They arrived at 8:12 p.m. They left at 10:47 p.m. because Emily had to get the kids to bed. Chapter 9, Day 1 of the coma. Nurse Carla Thomas, night shift, wrote in the chart, "Family at bedside, 2 HRs total. PT remains critically ill. Carla held my hand when no one else did." Chapter 10, Day 19, the first text. Mom, Emily, 3:14 a.m. The doctor pulled me aside tonight, said she may never wake up. We need to talk about practical things. Emily, Mom, 3:18 a.m. Like what? Mom, Emily, 3:21 a.m. Her house is paid off? If she dies, it just sits there? Emily, Mom, 3:25 a.m. I already looked it up. With the old power of attorney, we can probably transfer it to keep it in the family. I found a guy on TikTok who does family estate planning. I was on a ventilator, brain swollen like a balloon, and my family was already shopping for real estate loopholes on TikTok. Chapter 11, Day 22. The TikTok lawyer Emily met him in the parking lot of a cookout in Lincolnton. His name was Attorney Brandon. No last name on his TikTok, just a cowboy hat and 1.3 million followers. He charged $2,100 cash for a family estate transfer package. He told Emily, as long as the power of attorney is durable and doesn't specifically exclude real estate. We can do a quick claim deed for love and affection plus a nominal amount. Just write $10. Nobody ever checks. Emily wrote $75,000 instead of $10 because she thought it looked more legitimate and would raise fewer red flags. Attorney Brandon shrugged. Whatever, I'm not the one signing it. They scheduled the closing for day 34 of my coma. Chapter 12, day 27, Mom's prayer group. Mom told her church ladies I was basically brain dead. They started a prayer chain and a meal train. They also started whispering that the Lord works in mysterious ways, and maybe God wanted the house to stay with the grandchildren. One lady slipped Mom an envelope with $400 for the kids' future. Mom used it to buy Emily a new Michael Kors purse the next day. Chapter 13, day 30, the forged signature. They practiced my signature on printer paper for 2 hours in Emily's kitchen. Emily was better at it than Mom. Mike filmed it on his phone for memories. They used a blue gel pen because that's what I always used. They traced over a copy of my old signature from a 2018 Christmas card. It looked perfect. Chapter 14, day 34, closing day. The title company was a double-wide trailer behind a gas station. The closer was a woman named Sherry who chewed gum loud and never looked up from her computer. Emily wore a blazer 2 sizes too small. Mom wore sunglasses indoors and kept crying about doing what's best for the family. They brought my 2017 durable power of attorney, notarized at a UPS store when I thought I was being responsible, a doctor's note from an urgent care clinic that said patient remains in vegetative state, prognosis poor, $75,000 cashier's check made out to Lauren E. Carter. They opened a new account in my name the week before with $100 and never told me. Sherry asked 0 questions. She just said, sign here, here, and initial here. Emily signed Lauren E. Carter with a little flourish. Mom signed as witness. Dad wasn't there. He was too upset. At 2:17 p.m. on July 16th, 2021, my paid-off house legally belonged to Emily and Mike. They celebrated at Texas Roadhouse. Emily posted a photo of her steak with the caption, "Blessed beyond measure, Joshua New Beginnings." Chapter 15, day 35, the Sahelok. The next morning, they were approved for a $200,000 home equity line of credit on my house. Interest-only payments for the first 10 years. They used it to bring their McMansion mortgage current, $58,000, pay off 8 credit cards, $74,000, buy a 2021 Tahoe, $68,000 cash. Mike told his best friend on speakerphone, "Dude, my sister-in-law is basically a vegetable, and we just scored a free house. God is good." Chapter 16, July 29th, 2021, Awakening. The sedation was finally turned off. The first face I saw was Carla's. She was crying. "Welcome back, baby girl." I couldn't speak. Tube down my throat. I wrote on the whiteboard with a shaky hand. "Water?" Carla held the sponge to my lips and whispered, "You're a miracle." Chapter 17, the first week awake, I learned. I had been in a coma 47 days. My spine was broken in 3 places. I had a tracheostomy scar. I weighed 98 pounds. My hair was falling out in clumps. I did not yet know about the house. Chapter 18. They still didn't tell me. Mom visited once that week. She brought a balloon that said, "Get well soon," and a McDonald's sweet tea. She kept saying, "Don't worry about bills or anything. We've got everything handled." Emily sent a text from the parking lot. "So glad you're awake. The kids made you cards." She never came inside. Chapter 19, August 9th, rehab transfer. I was moved to Atrium Health's inpatient rehab in Charlotte. They gave me my phone back. First thing I did was open the banking app to pay my August property taxes like I always did on the first. Account not found. I called the Mecklenburg County Tax Office from my hospital bed. The woman said, "Ma'am, 1427. Maple Lane was transferred to new owners on July the 16th. You're no longer on the tax rolls." I dropped the phone. The heart monitor went crazy. Nurses ran in thinking I was coding again. Chapter 20, The Confrontation. I called Mom. She answered on the third ring, chipper. "Hey, honey, how's PT going?" Me, barely a whisper. "You sold my house." Silence. Then fake static. Then, "I'm going through a tunnel. Call you back." She never did. An hour later, Mom, Dad, and Emily walked into my rehab room like a funeral procession. Mom started crying immediately. Dad stared at the floor. Emily had the nerve to wear a necklace I had given her for her 30th birthday. I was hooked to 8 machines and couldn't even sit up, but I managed to scream, "Get out, all of you, get out." Security escorted them out. That was the last time I saw them in person for 2.5 years. Chapter 21, Hiring the Lawyer, August 12th, 2021. I was still in rehab, learning to hold a spoon again. I used my laptop on the hospital tray table and Googled real estate fraud attorney Charlotte. Rebecca Goldstein had 87 5-star reviews and a photo that said, "I fight dirty when they fight dirty." I emailed her from my bed at 2 a.m. She called me at 8:03 a.m. the same day. "Rebecca, Lauren, what they did is textbook self-dealing fraud. The power of attorney does not allow them to sell your house to themselves for pennies. We're getting it back, and they're going to pay." Her retainer was $7,500. I paid it from my emergency fund without blinking. It was the best money I ever spent. August 20th, 2021. Rebecca sent a certified letter to Emily, Mike, Mom, and Dad. Return title to 1427 Maple Lane immediately and pay Ms. Carter $335,000, current fair market value, within 10 days, or we file suit for fraud, forgery, conversion, and punitive damages. They ignored it. Chapter 23. Their response. Mom left me a 4-minute voicemail crying, "How can you do this to your own family? We were scared. You were dying. Emily needed help. Jesus says forgive 70 times 7. Emily texted, "You're being selfish. We were going to let you live in the basement when you got out." Dad sent one text, "You're tearing your mother apart." I saved every message. Rebecca loved it. Chapter 24, The GoFundMe, September 3rd, 2021. Emily created Help the Carter Family Heal After Tragedy. Description. Our sweet Lauren was in a horrible accident and is suffering permanent brain damage. Her family has been by her side 24/7. Now she is suing us for trying to keep her home safe. Please help with legal fees so we can focus on healing. God bless. They used 3 photos of me in the ICU, tubes everywhere, eyes swollen shut. Photos I never gave permission for. They raised $18,427 in 2 weeks. Rebecca sent GoFundMe a cease and desist. They took it down, but the money was already in Emily's account. Chapter 25, Discovery, Hell Begins. We filed suit October 1st, 2021 in Mecklenburg County Superior Court. Case number 21, CVS 14237. Discovery started in January 2022. We got their bank statements. The $200K HELOC disappeared in 42 days. 4,200 text messages. Emily's private Instagram stories. Mike's Facebook messages. Chapter 26. The texts that broke me. Rebecca printed the worst ones and brought them to my apartment. Mom, Emily, day 25 of coma. If she dies in the state, the house goes to probate anyway. We're just speeding things up so the kids can have stability. Emily, Mike. Got the signature perfect. Practiced 47 times, one for each day she's been a vegetable. Mike, Chad. Scored a $340K house for 75 grand. My sister-in-law's brain dead, bro. Easy money. Mom. Prayer group. Please pray for Lauren's soul. The doctors say she may never be the same. Also pray we can keep her home in the family. I read them in Rebecca's office and threw up in her trash can. Chapter 27. Emily's Instagram story. July 17th, 2021, day after closing. Video of Emily twirling in my living room. Caption, new house, who dis? Manifestation works. God closed one door, Lauren's brain, and opened a window. She deleted it 2 hours later. Too late. Chapter 28. Depositions, March 2022. Emily cried the entire time. Said she thought it was legal, and Mom told me to do it. Mom said, I'm just a simple mother trying to protect my babies. Dad said, Lauren never had a family of her own. The house was going to waste. Mike refused to answer 63 questions and pleaded the fifth. Chapter 29, Nurse Carla's affidavit. Carla wrote, I cared for Lauren for 47 days. Her family visited a total of 11 hours. They never asked about her prognosis. On July 10th, Emily asked me if Lauren had any assets we should know about for billing. I thought it was odd. The judge read it twice. Chapter 30. Their lawyer's dirty tricks. Their lawyer, Dale, filed a motion claiming I had diminished capacity and shouldn't testify. Rebecca brought my neuropsych report. IQ 138, memory perfect. Judge denied it and sanctioned him $2,000. Chapter 31. The church campaign. The church put us in the bulletin, one daughter is lost to greed after her accident. Half the congregation unfriended me on Facebook. Chapter 32. My first court appearance, June 2022. I walked in with a cane. Judge Angela M. Davis. Red lipstick. No nonsense. Emily stared at me like I was a ghost. Mom mouthed, I love you. I looked straight ahead. Chapter 33. The smoking gun email. Mike, Attorney Brandon, July 20, 2021. Thanks. If she wakes up and causes problems, can we just say it was a loan? Brandon, already shredded my copy. You're good. He later pleaded the fifth, too. October 2022. Rebecca asks, why did you post a celebration video the day after stealing your sister's house? Emily screamed, it wasn't stealing. She was dead to us. The bailiff had to calm her down. The court reporter typed every word. Chapter 35. Mom's breakdown. Mom took the stand in pearls and a cardigan. Rebecca showed her the text. About speeding up probate. Mom, I don't remember sending that. Rebecca, it's from your phone. Mom burst into tears. I just wanted what was best for my grandchildren. Judge Davis, the grandchildren weren't on the deed. Chapter 36, Judgment Day, November 14th, 2023, Mecklenburg County Superior Court, Courtroom 9C. I wore the navy suit I bought the night before, my first suit ever. Judge Davis entered at 9:02 a.m. Everyone stood. My legs shook, but I stood without the cane. She didn't waste words. After reviewing 4,200 pages of exhibits, 18 depositions, and 2 weeks of testimony, this court finds overwhelming evidence of fraud, forgery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and civil theft. The quitclaim deed, executed on July 16, 2021, is hereby declared void ab initio. Title to 1427, Maple Lane, is restored to plaintiff Lauren Elizabeth Carter, effective immediately. Defendants, Emily Carter Johnson, Michael Johnson, Tammy Carter, and Ronald Carter, are jointly and severally liable in the amount of $508,000. Fair market value, $187,000. Punitive damages, $94,000. Attorney fees, $36,000. 2 years of rent. Total judgment, $825,000 plus 8% interest. The court further orders the sale of any and All defendants said real property necessary to satisfy this judgment, including 82-117 Providence Oaks Circle. This is a final order. Court is adjourned. The gavel hit like a gunshot. Emily screamed. Mom collapsed into Dad's arms. Mike stared straight ahead. I cried silently. Rebecca squeezed my hand. Chapter 37. The 90-day clock. They had 90 days to pay or vacate everything. They tried. Bankruptcy? Denied for bad faith. Church loan? Denied. Another GoFundMe? Removed in 4 hours. Day 87. Sheriff posted the eviction notice. Chapter 38. Eviction day. February 23rd, 2024. I didn't go. Someone live streamed it. Emily screaming, kids crying, Mom holding a box labeled Lauren's old toys. Please return. The moving truck took 8 hours. They left 3 dogs. Animal control picked them up. Chapter 39. Walking back into my house. March 1st, 2024. I opened the front door with the same key as before. The smell. Dog urine, cigarettes, mold. They had holes in every wall. Chewed hardwood floors. Black mold in both bathrooms. Bitch. Spray painted on my bedroom wall. I sat and cried. Then I called contractors. Repairs, $78,400. I paid it. Chapter 40, the for sale sign. June 2024, house restored. List, $529,900 sold. $538,000 cash closing. July 12th, 2024, 3 years to the day since they stole it. Chapter 41, goodbye. North Carolina, August 2024. I drove west, 2,700 miles, 3 days, 1 flat tire in Kansas, arrived in Oregon on a rainy Thursday. Chapter 42, the cabin 5 acres near Portland. 1978, A-frame, wood stove, wraparound deck, paid cash, $612,000. Closing photo, me holding keys under a rainbow. Chapter 43, Riley. Quinn, September 2024. Name change approved. Lauren Carter died the day they sold her house. Riley Quinn was born the day she won it back. Chapter 44, Caleb. We met in a trauma support group, October 2024. He lost his brother to a drunk driver. He said, "You don't have to explain why you flinch at loud noises. I get it." We married September 27, 2025. Backyard ceremony. 12 guests. Fairy lights. Chapter 45. The last birthday card. Every year on March the 14th, a card arrives. 2025 version. Dear Lauren, your nieces and nephews ask about you. We live in a 2-bedroom apartment now because of your cruelty. Jesus loves you. We forgive you. Please come home. Love, Mom. I burned it in the wood stove. Epilogue. November 28th, 2025. I'm on my deck watching fog move through the trees. Caleb is making coffee. Our rescue dog is asleep on my feet. My will is notarized. If we die, everything goes to the NICU that kept me alive. My dad. The animal shelter that saved those dogs. Nothing to my biological family. People ask if I feel guilty. I don't. They sold my future for $75,000 and a used Tahoe. I fought back, and I won. Not just the house, my life. Blood doesn't make you owe forgiveness. Walk away. Change your name. Build a real family. Thank you for reading my story.